Okay, so I figured it out. I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so hold on, let me make sure. Okay, so that's not what I wanted. Okay, yeah, yeah. Finally. So this is my Twitter, more or less. And basically, okay, all right. So I wanted to talk about like, because those are people they're advertising to me. I keep switching it up. Okay, I'm not gonna complain. It's like it's free. I shouldn't be complaining. All right. How do I? I wanted to. Oh, so, okay. So basically, I just pull it up. Okay. So basically, I mean, I have them in order. I guess I could start all the way. I have to go. I was gonna start from the very top, but forget it. So basically, okay. That's the okay. Okay. So this one's April 30th. I said India prepares response to Pakistan. Prime Minister grants full freedom of action to military. It says it says only through the action made prescribed by Lord Sri Krishna responsibility in social duties in response to Arjun, the Bhagavad Gita, Holy Bible, the Song of God. So, so I got 52 views on that one, and what it was saying was that yeah, India is going to respond, and it says Bhagavad Gita, uh, chapter 2, verse 31 says, besides considering your duty as a warrior, you should not waver. Indeed, for a warrior, there is no better engagement than fighting for upholding of righteousness. Of righteousness. Your social duty, no attachments. So then it goes the Bhagavad Gita that says, I am 1001 unequivocally certain that the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, are good friends. Bhagavad Gita and Holy Bible, and I wrote green, meaning good standing. This is as we're moving into the new season, and it says so I can the sim. This is basic. Oh, it's a lot. This is basically telling us that we're entering into Taurus, which is 2 days ago. That's the 14th. How strong that actually Venus is. Um, this one describes May 1st. The Palestinians and Jews in Jerusalem and insisting on remaining friends during the wartime is blessing that. Yes, the blessing of Moses gave love and protection and recognition. Yahweh Elohim, Baal, by the way, or Lord El is another one. Would be actually be Yahweh El or Yahweh Elohim El would be the exact name. El belongs to the Canaanite that is in Israel. Today's Palestinian um, over time. And Yahweh Elohim, obviously, that would be Israel. Um, Before entering the land, of course, his name is Yahweh Elohim. But the Canaanite people always knew God as El, Lord El, indeed. So, The next one was May 1st. The Palestinians and Jews in Jerusalem insisting on, oh yeah, remaining friends. Uh, During the wartime, it says Yahweh says that He is not the God of Babylon, but the founder of Zion city for the humble. That's from the book of Isaiah. By the way, I'm going to do either a stream, I believe, or definitely going to post a lot about the symbolisms of you know in in this particular discussion. It's in the book of Isaiah because I'm so far ahead of things, and um, there was a huge misinterpretation by people who say that they're seers and prophets and psychics, and they're talking about this particular chapter. And so I'm going to read it correctly and why the everything is happening opposite of these predictions and more not predictions, but prophecies are predictions, but these are prophecies that were stated by people declare people who declare themselves as prophets and seers. So we're gonna I'm definitely gonna talk about that. Okay, so May 7th, Bruni denies. Okay, oh yeah, that was me saying that Perlin has great health. He's 80. I get it, but they chose a much younger one. I've got something about Pope Leo as well, on written on my that I wrote out on my Twitter. Okay, so May 2nd, Lebanon warns Hamas not to carry out any attacks from its territory. So Lebanon stepping up. Lebanon is also the bloodline of Canaan, the Canaanite people. So lived in Canaan. Now, I also have a theory on this. Basically, okay, so Israel, okay, which is validated by biblically, is Israel entered into the land, but not Israel alone, meaning other nations, as this uh, specifically described and actually which nations of people entered into the promised land with Israel. For example, Egypt intermarriages happened, also having multiracial children happened, and so Israel and nations. However, I mean the I guess like the optics is Israel and nations, but however we can't forget that Moses blessed these nations and made them part of the house of Israel. Thus, Israel enters into um, Canaan, but then when you read the next chapter, God addresses three groups of people. He addresses the Canaanite people, he addresses the Israel people, including the young men of Israel people, and then giving and the nations. And he gave all three very specific commandments. So there you have it. And so that's how we get Lebanon, people who have deep ties, first of all, to the land of Canaan, which includes even Lebanon, because it's us. What people don't understand is that the land that was Israel isn't that little spot that says Jerusalem, but it is far as you could see to the seas. However, it isn't just Israel who lives there, also the people of Lebanon. This is important because we're talking about people who are traveling with Israel from Egypt. And I close my case. So, decisive Lebanon, they are not act. Yeah, they are not acting out for the benefit of Palestinian. Neither they consider ramifications. Exactly. Therefore, what happens? Therefore, yeah, exactly. Hamas is not thinking about the welfare of Lebanon or Palestinian people. Yeah, that's right. And Lebanon stepped it up and said, "Hey, cut it out. Stop using ours as a launching pad. Those are in Lebanon. Egypt knows that they have a deep connection to Palestine. That's why and Egypt and Greece, they're connecting with Lebanon. They're connecting with uh, Palestinian people because they know that that is their people. I stated before all this happened, I said, it's how you know which is your family. When things hit the fan and there's trouble, the family, whoever shows up, those are your cousins. That's your family. That there they are. And in this case, it's Egypt. And so therefore we know that okay, Egypt, but also that they are Arab, which that's why it makes no sense for they to be Canaan. Thus, we yes, they are every like Arab is Semitic, but particularly uh, Israel in the terms of the Bible, if that is because no one would render up who they are. No, they would embrace and accept who they are. They kept their connection and their identity being Semitic, but they also made themselves distinct people, people from Egypt. That's why Israel maintains that which I have some things to share about that as well. But I'm not even going to go into it about the Old Testament, particularly belonging with them to them. Um, that's going to be a very interesting conversation. Yeah, it's a lot of deep conversations. I just pondered a bit so that it comes out right. Okay, so May 2nd, as Trump does. Okay, yeah, that was funny. Okay, I'm going to leave that be. I did okay. May 2nd. That's when Elon said that that he's the Buddhist. That, people don't understand what Buddhist is, but they got mad just because he declared himself Buddha. He didn't say he was the Christ. But anyway, the philosophy says that, first of all, there are many Buddhas, and then you uncover the way becoming Buddha. And of course, they pan it off like he was saying that he was a god. Buddha actually considered themselves a philosophy than a religion. There are religious, concepts, but it's a philosophy and it's something that's even more closer to a science of the self. Okay, like metaphysics. Okay, so um, the IRS bit. Oh yeah, yeah. This is about anti-Semitism. Most fascinating. They, losing their 501c3 status. That's Harvard. The second one is massive military parade. Okay. And I wrote out all 13 of the astrological charts. Great. Syria, uh, we knew was going to start taking care of the Druze people. I even have it in my brain what it looks like. This is Messianic. Well, they used to in history, Messianically would protect their citizens, including the Druze people who have deep uh, roots to Israel, and of course they're discovering that traditionally I wrote Messianic protect the fruits um, as a buffer or a wall to guard its people. It's a part of the historic history ties. Yeah, they have history ties to yeah genealogical ties. In fact, the Jewish people, their culture, but as does the Palestinian people. But so yeah, but humans are mortals are mortals, and so like you have to separate Palestinian from Hamas. Like I can have a genuine hate for Hamas, but not for the Palestinian people. That doesn't make any sense. I'm mad at Hamas because Hamas is putting Palestinian people. Here it says it right here. It says Israel says it is a cut off entry. Okay, so humanitarian aid to pressure Hamas to release hostages. However, again, Hamas doesn't care about Palestinian lives. Hamas are not fighting for Palestinians or their food and Israel. Israel says Hamas uses people as shields. So then, thus, I write in parentheses, no reason to guarantee safety and provisions. Then, so that's not going to work. Palestinian Health Ministry. Oh, by the way, guess who's over the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza? Oh my gosh, Hamas. They're over the health. They're over the Palestinian Health Ministry. Your enemy is over your health ministry. Hamas is the enemy of the people, of their people, of its own people. Well, yes, that's where Israel got caught up. Like Hamas, you're gonna do this to your own people. They don't. It's like they didn't get it until it's like they didn't get it like millions of people too late. In fact, the Palestinians did entrust. Yeah, okay, it's true. The Palestinians, it, entrust like a government. Okay, powers, and of course Hamas will do anything to keep those powers. Okay, and that's all they care about. And the sixth says far right minister says Israel should bomb humanitarian aid, basically starve them. That's starve Gazans. This is, and then of course I wrote, this is my quote. This is why I'm saying, it says, I send to Palestinian people living in Gaza, their ancestral homeland is also their ancestral homeland alongside Israel, healing, love, and light. Eject Hamas, yes. Then I write, I psychically knew something sinister. Of course, at least something was not right or just. Not all evil, but not all good neither. Both can be true at the same time. In any metaphysical timeline, the mortal in humanity permits intellectual capabilities, the same use entering the land. Uh-huh. They didn't Israel didn't have to fight to enter the land of Canaan. They in fact they put the young men put the elder men in the front, and they walked in helping they were instructed that the young men help the elder men, and then to bring in the women, the elder women, and then the women, and what considers you to be elder, anything over 50. Any man that was 30 was to help the older men into the land. And then next were the women, the older women. Then next were the women and children, and then the men that were, you want to say, that is not how you walk in if you're waging a war. And that, yeah, because they were, in fact, the archaeologists discovered that there were either there was no war or that DNA doesn't. They were kind of joking that, well, DNA doesn't capture the things that happened. These two people could have hated each other's guts. But then again, it could also indicate that, yeah, clearly they lived side by side, but just because they lived side by side don't mean they didn't despise each other. But of course, biblically, it shows that there was no war, and also DNA. Scientifically, archaeologists and genealogists say that they actually were in a thriving city. It was a city, and no sign of a war. Um, okay. Oh yeah, that's Kamala's daughter. I said no judgment on there. That's okay. So this was the fentanyl discussion. That's a big one. This one made me so mad. I heard somebody from across on the other side of the border say the most cruelest statement, but I'm not going to repeat it here. I'm just looking at some of the things that I described out. This is about, I'm very proud of these two people. That's Bondi. That's Cash Patel. And I'm not sure of her last name. I guess we should learn her last name. Okay, Pam Bondi. I'm probably calling her by last name. That is her last name, Pam Bondi. How hard is to remember Pam Bondi? Okay, so Pam Bondi, Cash Patel made a big bust. This situation, people might say, so what do you care about? See, that's why. Okay, calm down, calm down. First of all, this we got to look at the statement. What was stated? What made me mad? So when this person said, "Who's from another country," said to if this person says it's to a non-white person, if white men are too stupid to stop fentanyl from getting into America, the, there's eclipses here. There was other things that were said, and I'll tell you what those words were. I shouldn't care. I shouldn't care. Not why I. I'm not asking you why I don't care. I'm asking. I'm saying I should not care. That has nothing to do with me. And it was only to keep um keep the access open. It was a conversation of access. The, like who are you to close your door on me? And was looking at, in other words. But here's the thing: this person who made this statement was saying, I don't care about what happens to you. I don't care if this fentanyl or whatever is headed your way reaches you, and there's nothing you can do about it because who was identified as white men can't do a thing about it, and I don't care. And why are you thinking that I am going to care? It was very apathetic when the way that this person was talking. Oh, by the way, it was university, college educated. By the way, so it was using all the $10 words, all of the negative ones, and the tax that it could come up with. Okay, so this is them saving children. Well, only reason why well, I like it because it's the Bible. Job talks about trafficking and taught Job how to protect children, taught Job how to protect his sons and daughters, etc., and create infrastructures and to protect his riches and his cattle, all of that. That's in the book of Job. And also gave all the mysteries of the universe and also the way the world works, and also about what like what men will do, what man can do, men and women, but what human can do. That's what Job was learning. But people don't understand. They read the first half of it and then they don't even read the whole book, and nor do they understand what in the world's going on. Like he was taught how to protect everything, infrastructure, and he also discovered the mysteries of the universe. Um, he made it very clear. He says, if you, Cash says, if you harm our children, there is no place we won't hunt you down, and no cage we won't put you in. Like we'll get a cage for you and put you in a cage, like eye for eye, tooth for tooth. They had 205 predators alone in 1 week alone. I mean, in 1 week, 205 of them. So that's why they get all of my praise. That's why they get praises. That's why they get praises. Okay. So, and this. So, I'm raised in the metaphysical community, and I know I'm part of the dark arts community. So this is disturbing. So when they found these rescued these young people, right? These kids, and some of them were adults too. They rescued adults as well. All I can think about is all the counseling they're going to need, because when you look, what's in a mixture? These are symbols that were used to support what their activities. They made it into like a philosophy of sorts, if you will. It says, okay. So also Rista, like basically I was saying, look at all of the kinds of, like, to attend to the victims here, they're going to need child psychologists, career psychologists, uh, psychotherapists, family therapists, and psychiatrists, etc., and occupational therapists. They're going to need so much. Um, oh yeah, that was okay. Yeah, they made this. They kind of blacked this out. Um, this was it got 144. they blocked it out, but I knew what I meant. It's like I was celebrating her win. I know it's controversial, but she was, but that was more like saying she's on a spiritual path. That wasn't for like clicks. I don't need anything, but I celebrated because I wanted to. And if you happen to see it, good for you, because it's good stuff. What I write, I always write good stuff. So this one was breaking. She's being protected. She got out of harm's way. She got out of an abusive relationship, basically. If you don't know her story, you just look up Kayla. It landed on my feed, and I celebrated her because I felt that she made the right call. She got herself out of a terrible domestic abuse situation, and she took it to the right authorities, and she took it to court, and she got her justice. And so I celebrated her victory with her. She didn't stick around. She didn't, she's hurting, maybe need the counseling, but she got her victory in that day. So congratulations to her. Like so I okay, big. Oh, this is me celebrating like good things. So I'm like, I'm gonna wake up every day and like take calls like early in the morning, and like all these good things are gonna happen for the next 4 years. Because it's him saying big conference tomorrow at the office. Of course, he's doing all this. We're being respected. This is before he was going on his tour. Oh yeah, I'm also working with royalty. By the way, it's so interesting. So I was commenting on the Kate on Kate Middleton and the Prince William, right? But I said, oh yeah, I'm working right now. I'm observing royalty right now and working with somebody who's going to actually, the royalty likes the person who I'm reading for, who it says going to work with this person who is a members of the royal family, basically. And so, by the way, which is Qatar. Absolutely. Okay, so of course, new beautiful things going with Qatar. I was getting insights that the economy. My gentleman, he's Arab, and of course, their infrastructures and progressive business and things like that, and resources and building progressively. All of that's also coming through in Qatar, and I was like, my client she was saying, well, I don't, I was telling her how much life was going to be really good over there in the wealth wise. And she's like, well, I don't know. And I was like, my tone of my voice is saying, she's like, I could tell you know something I don't know, but I know you know. It's like, you're going to love it. Because she's worried if whether or not she's going to like really like it. And what she's not thinking of opulence. I'm telling her what the life she's gonna have is gonna be beautiful, and she's gonna make time to make a life for herself as they would want her to be happy. Um, oh yeah, the new Syrian president, excuse me, president. He's an amazing one. He's actually a Virgo, but people kind of want to they wish he were Scorpio. That's what I really said, and some good things are going to come about describing him. Here's the Greece and Egypt. They agreed to boost. Greece and Egypt and Greece are working together to back Gaza reconstruction plan. Acts of kindness go a long way. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite one. That he chose his name, Pope Leo the 14th. Well, by the way, his sign is Leo in the new, like in the updated astrology. Okay, he's a Virgo, what you might read, or a Libra or something like that. But he's actually a Leo. Yep, he's a Leo. So he choosing the name Leo. Of course, I played all on that. I think I even I don't know if I uploaded something yet, but I definitely celebrated that. I was like, I was like, this is maybe a bit of a reach, but yeah, his sun sign, the Pope's sun sign is a Leo. Breaking drops, normalizing relations. Okay, so President Donald Trump drops normalizing relations with Israel as requirement for Saudi. Okay, got it. Now, yeah, about Trump and that. Okay, so all I can say is I pray for that aid. Okay, so the U.S. pushes ahead with a plan for Gaza without UN support. Yeah, I was praying for that. For the Gazan citizens. That's period. Um, okay, so here it is. Okay, so that's Pope Leo. That's how you could look. His name is has a hierarch kind of tarot card for each as part of his name. Pope, which is the Hierophant. Leo, which is strength. The 14th, which is temperance. Everything moderately. Everything in modesty. It says, "Oh my holy," and I'm going. He chose his name because his astrological sign is Leo. His star sign is Leo. And the new astrological date, he is a Leo. That is Pope Leo the 14th. And, I was just, kind of says, I also said maybe a bit of a reach, so it was humor. Unveils the Gaza plan. Okay, so that's the Gaza plan. Yeah, this is what I was mad about. What was I mad about? Something made me mad. Oh yeah, this is everything going on with hmm the fentanyl. This is where two people of color, or maybe they're black, and this was my point. That it says this is Alex Jones says this is sad and scary, sad and scary. They both overdosed on fentanyl and died. Yeah, they were at a game, some kind of basketball game or something. That's where they overdosed up there in the bleachers, just like sitting there like two couples asleep. No, they're dead. Overdose on fentanyl, and that was my point. So when this person said, if this person, it says, okay, so a university graduate. That's I made it very clear, and I slowed down. People in the back, a university grad from on the other side in quotations, but the border, basically meaning the border of the border, says if white men are too stupid to keep fentanyl from crossing their borders. He says he was when I was mentioning he was saying this to a black person. And then I wrote comma apathy, like I don't care what happens to you. So obvious, like that was an easy one. And then I my little heat face, so this is what I was stating. Mm-hmm. So okay. So what is this one? I can. Oh, like I said, I can see the prophets reeling right now. The prophets didn't see this. They would have thought this. They thought that he was going to like light up. He look. This is him in the middle of the swimming and all that color. No, I'm sorry. He's just swimming in the grace of God. They are Semitic. They are Semitic branches of you know um princess what's her name, Princess Hagar, Egyptian princess, many princes to go on. And if you don't believe in the Bible, this is because you don't want to look at it. The Bible said this is Bible. He went to real Bible land. Trump went to the real Bible land. The real Bible book, he went straight to the real books of the pages, where they said God would bless the her sons to become princes, like 12 of them, and they would have every all the riches you can imagine. And God is he's a God of his word. So anyway, so this is we're keeping up with them. You already know my predictions on Ukraine. Um, and this is the Pope saying stop it all. Let he's calling on peace. Um, that's what the Hierophant also means. Um, I call on. It says, "I call this reconciliation." This is wonderful. The reconciliation part. That's all about. I think that's his visit towards Qatar. There it is, Qatar and Egypt, reconciling, and also dealing with the love of all the people. Even the, of course, we're adding the Palestinian people as we're speaking this. This is also the conversations that I'm going to speak about. Conversations I'm going to speak about regarding the passages of Isaiah. I need to say them correctly. Trump set to receive $400 million flying palace, a palace that flies. Okay. Oh, by the way, you know who the King of Pentacles. Well, that's what I call him in my Trump in the royal suits. He is the king of. You want to call him the King of Pentacles or the King of Diamonds? This is. Oh, I love this one. We've not seen this in a long while. Hold on. This is timeless masterpiece. This was 5 years ago. So we're going to see this play out. I'm going to let that play for a second. I said, wow, it has been only 5 years. It says 5 years on YouTube. I know it's been close to 6 years. It's a masterpiece. Um, I'll let it play all the way through and I'll tell you where the beginning is. You're going to, no, I can't mess it up like that. I'm going to give it away. Okay. All right. Come on. Come on. All right. There it is. Okay, here it is, the whole thing. Bernie Sanders. So it goes, that's Bernie Sanders' chart and how they interlock. He was in a bit of a tiff, astrological tiff with the none other than, that says Biden. So clearly that's Joe Biden. This is 5 years ago. Earlier than that, I mean, a lot longer than that, but that's what it said on the video. And then it crosses over to yeah, this was an epic little video. It's only like a few seconds long. President Donald Trump. And I chose that color because he come in like the sun. So there's that. That was on May 12th. And then of course, what is this one? Oh yeah, this happened. Oh boy. This one says, um, okay, the celestial lesson today, although Donald Trump is pro-Israel and most trusted ally, it says, Trump retained the wisdom. Okay, Trump is retaining the wisdom of discernment, has the right to disagree with, yet not exclusive to, the Prime Minister Netanyahu. The president can show disapproval to anyone he likes. Basically, it says here that people are trying to call, they're trying to put him into this, that he's anti-Semitic, and that's just no way that can be, because of this. This is why he cannot be. It says Israel asks ICC judge to withdraw arrest warrants against their prime minister Netanyahu, um, and his former defense chief. So it was two people that was brought to this. His name is Yoav Gallant. So I was being a little. I think I was being a little much. So I said, "Look, sweetie, the ICC called two individuals of Israel, on arrest warrant charges. Prime Minister Netanyahu and his former defense chief Yoav Gallant, not the state of Israel." So it's like very clear, not the state of Israel. Then I said, basically, well, how were they able to do that? Because Netanyahu said they don't have any right because that's the claim that Palestinian Gaza that Palestinian is a state. So basically, ICC was recognizing Palestine as its own state, as in the state of Palestine, according to the Rome Statute, which was when was it proclamated? January 2015. Palestine um, acceded to the Rome Statute and gave the ICC prosecutor jurisdiction over alleged crimes committed to the context of Israel-Palestine conflict in Gaza and East Jerusalem. This means in the documents, ICC recognizes the Palestine as a state, and that's what it meant. Okay, so all of that, and it says not to now who challenge the legitimacy of ICC. So apparently they're real. They're real enough that Israel, the state of Israel, is asking, "Hey, would you mind? Would you please drop these charges, these arrest warrants? Please drop them." So there you have it. But that's I'm gonna skip this part because I want to go right to breaking. Okay, hold on. Yeah, the prophets were talking about bad. We're talking about bad economy. Ooh, but nope, good economy. Okay, let me see. Let me see. 450. Make the. Oh, okay. Here they are. Trump stops 450. Okay, so Trump stops 450 $1 million in funding to Harvard for being a breeding ground for anti-Semitism. And then it says, here it is. And then it says, so I said, it's official. I said, how dare they accuse and make those awful accusations about President Donald Trump. Then it said, it's neither right nor fair. Valued at 450 million dollars. Anti-Semitic breeding ground. So there's that, and then there's let me see. Okay, I want to get to the part where Trump impeachment. We already know that's a no go. Basically, um, this is also my personal view on like why impeachment should not be a remedy this time. When you sign up to participate in anything, you must learn the discipline of seeing it through in its entirety. Don't quit because it gets tough. Moreover, the American vote is a serious one, like fire, and like a flame, it must be handled with care and wisely. Um, Arguments. Okay, so this is Qatar, and basically, I was like blessing my client. One of my clients is actually working with a member of the royal member family of Qatar. Trump meets with Syria, and all that. Everything is happening very nicely. Um, nobody will say to me that uh, the impeachment articles are a piece of you know what. And then, of course, I wrote something. I wrote, well, I'm a holy and sacred psychic, so the term I would have chosen is that the articles are baseless. Oh, gosh. Okay, so that's more of his wins. Okay, this right here, oh boy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Let me tell you one thing. This gentleman, I know he is African, but you must understand, I'm American, and even I know that he would kill me. I know, so I'm not. I know that Putin would kill me. I know respect. Hey, what's wrong? Putin's not nothing wrong with Putin. There's nothing wrong with what's his name. I mean, does they got his name on here? Oh, they don't have his name on this one. I don't think. Let me see. Okay, so anyway, so they had a little parking lot march and his black African, invitee and pal. Okay, happened. But Donald Trump has experiences worthy of collective conscious status. Then I, put feints. Like wow, my president. These two are not my president. These two are not my king. You know what I mean? So that's one. And so, to say that I should be like hyped up because they're standing together or they're having parades together, I'll be respectful this time. That shouldn't imply that I myself need to celebrate any aspect of this. He joined Putin because these are low hanging fruit. If there is so much of a big, huge fight going on the continent and the land of Africa, shouldn't he not be there? Okay, he could be, you know, learning and training and whatever, learning about technology. Okay, which he did state, but that could also happen with others. But if even if it were to happen with him, we're saying that this puts him in a fight, um, in a situation where if he is applying his newfound muscles, his newfound strengths, and he's actually as is suggested already that he's doing more harm, I think I am unequivocally, without any shot of a doubt, that I would be among the group that would be harmed, more or less. So I'm not going to celebrate somebody who would, if I can be outright who is my enemy and who's going to who would in any circumstance if given opportunity would rather would have killed me. So I think that would apply on both sides. So it's safe to say, even in the imaginary realm, not even a hypothetical. Well, wow, isn't that just a fascinating feature of life? Rather than that, just as equal if two groups of people coming together, Christian, Catholic, maybe well, Christian, and the Arab kingdom, the Arab nations coming together. That's that is something to behold, and I don't think questionable. I know that you know. Well, their belief in Christ in Christianity, I think, is questionable. I know one of them, and I can outright tell you which one probably is more. Putin is more closer to Christ probably than this one, than the one who is African, black African. Because there's also white Africans, but particularly black African. Putin is more closer to the Christ. Putin has Christ wrong. He has it wrong, but at least at least acknowledges that there is a Christ. I don't think this one cares whether it's Christ or not. But he's probably saying, "Oh, you believe you're over there. You in America. You're not here. You believe in Christ. Well, believe in him." Like I know. Be thankful. Be thanking him. I know, and I am through Trump being my president, as in President Trump's experiences worthy of collective conscious status, faints, and just in case you are confused, because I am not. I'm all about my safety these next 50 years. A quaint parking lot march, a quaint parking lot march, and a black African, not black American, a black African invitee and pal happens, and with an X, like I like my check marks. My check mark says President Trump's experiences worthy of collective consciousness status. Uh, uh, Africa's youngest leader divides opinion over Russia ties. Uh, And that's hello from guitar. Okay. Welcome. It's a pleasure. Donald here. A pleasure. Absolutely. And is there any special interest today? Anything that may come to mind where you like to focus your thoughts? Okay. So what about an area that interests you? In one word, what would that be? Okay, got it. I'll start there. And if you want to change it up, you can at any time. So what I can see in this space is that okay, you're moving away from the risks. It's about new money. I see some leadership elements here. You're making peace with this new direction that you might have to. They said you might have to step forward in order for the this new money, this new idea to reach you. There's something that you're going to. It's going to be asked of you to do, and there's a decision of whether if you should or not. I get that strong sense. It has a little bit of, like you say, taking a little bit of a risk. Maybe taking on responsibility, taking on the responsibility. In that sense. But they said that it's a perfect moment because you have so much. There's so many people around you right now who are patient and who are ready for this to happen with you, who come through as the helpers. So let's see about something specific that they're mentioning. So clearly, there's new money through, I think, new position that's moving in your direction. Okay, so we're going to go into some details here. So it opens up with contract, money conversation, money being coming through the company. I see you switching roles. There's a switch here or extension of a role. That's yourself. Also an interaction. That's right. They said this is by. Um, they said okay. So throughout the late June month, so it's late June into July, is what they're describing here. So a new agreement is you're going to be made another offer. A new offer is moving your way, is what I see. I also like this idea because this is very progressive, like with family, like this is connecting the household. This protects the household because of the money that's coming in. It's like you're making all of these other types of good decisions because now you're like, well, you've got the money to do it, but you're in a new role, you're going to be very busy. So things are picking up for you around this time. Okay. So in this space, I believe that they mentioned that you're going to in order so there's something that's a requirement for this to come to pass. You have to already accept that this means taking on another role or an extension of a role. So it's like maybe a role will be added to this current one, is the way they described it. So it's like, yes, you're in a role, or more like is this a company, the same company in which all this is going to happen? The answer is yes. It's going to happen within this current company, but the role, I believe, there's an extended role, or you stepping into a role. It feels like you're doing both of them at the same time, though. Like your responsibilities are growing, and that's just something we have to accept, because this is where the new money is reaching you. The new agreements is what I saw. So I saw you expanding a bit. The timing that they said they want to see this happen, they want this from you as well. I believe that represents the company itself. Mm. So in this is my idea of general, like very specific types of conversation. So in that regard, you would just choose. It could be one word, but what areas that you would like to hear about? Mm-hmm. Okay, so in that respect, what I could sense is definitely keep your mind open to these new ideas and allow yourself to move into this. I know they say, yeah, it sounds like it's a risk. Is something that you genuinely want to be doing. They're asking you to begin to prepare and being open to embracing the new challenges. But with the new challenges does come great rewards, and it will play out very favorably, is what they're saying. Absolutely. Good luck in this new direction. Absolutely. And you can always contact me back. So you're new? You can, okay. I'm on, actually, on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays is the time that you can see me. If you happen to see me on like today, just, you're right. You don't need to make an appointment. Just come right on in. Got it. Okay. If you choose to make an appointment, um, 4074. That's my extension. It was a pleasure meeting you today. Okay. Boy. Okay. So now, okay. So this is the part where I was talking about like billionaires coming from out of South Africa. Okay. Here's his name. Uh, not Abraham, but Ibrahim Torres. I listened to the interview, and basically he was saying, um, they don't get it. It's not a fight they can win. Basically, it's about their minerals. It's about all of their territory, not some of their territory. Absolutely not, my friend. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about this guy, the guy he is black, but in Africa, from Africa. He's, of course, akin to Putin, of his own heart, but he said that they don't get it. This is about their entire region, not just some. There's no way, in his eyes, there's no way they can win, and it's not. It's about their minerals, and but what he's saying, but when he says they should just, concede, is what he's saying is that they should be, um, violated in every way because that was the way that Russia entered in, and that's what they've been doing this whole time, and that's how it's how it keeps playing out. So he's taken this sort of mentality back to his homeland, his Africa. Africa is not my homeland, but he's taking it back to his homeland, which is Africa, and that's my issue because he'll be doing what he's learning here at this low hanging fruit of with Ukrainian, as he so thinks, and taking it back to Africa as if he couldn't make Africa experience native Africans worse, more far worse experiences, life experiences. I don't have any attachments to Africa, but that's what I got from him. So I'm definitely not a fan of him. And there are better leaders. Again, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I think that there will be better leaders after him. Donald here. Okay. It's a pleasure. Welcome. Donald here. A pleasure answering all of your questions today. And where will we like to begin? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look and see. Okay. Hmm. Okay. That makes sense. Absolutely. Okay. Well, let's just see what's going. You said specifically to ask what's going on with him, right? Okay. Okay. Right. Got it. Okay. Understood. So what I got the sense of is definitely there. I can sense there are interferences. There's no doubt about that. There are interferences. You're describing it, but I'm seeing it and can feel it. And but it's intellectual interferences. I get the people who are trying to dominate your lives, even trying to like push over on him a little bit. It's not just because it said it's a power dynamic involved. Like people who may be trying to make themselves out to be a part of your lives in ways that you have not given them permission to be. Like, right there, it's like they're no longer just simply gossiping. Oh, this is what I heard. It's like they're starting to dictate and wanting to advise in your life that they have nothing to do with your life. Exactly. You didn't ask for the advice. Exactly. Exactly. And then you ask, okay, this is about him. This is how he's dealing with it, though. They say that he does get on a bit of a rebound. Like they do kind of mess him up a little bit, maybe in the psychology of that, because he's like, what? He doesn't know what's going on. He's not thinking I have to watch out for myself. So he gets caught up with that. You know what stops him though? The his and your soulmate connection stops him from getting involved, creating karma relationships with these people. Like, okay, first of all, I think I skipped something that's going to confuse you. I better let you know where I'm going, what I think about this, because I just confused my. Yes, I know I confused you. Okay, I think that they're making a play for him. I think they're trying to pull him out of the security of the relationship that he is establishing with you and pull him into their world or their idea of him. Okay. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Right. Yes. Hmm. Okay. 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 Mm. Right. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. This was not easy for you to hear. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. And like you said, he's doing this to get a rise out of you. He doesn't know one way or the other. He doesn't know. He doesn't really know. Okay. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Got you. Check after yourself. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Right. Uh, mm-hmm. Right. That's right. Yes. Good. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. That's everything you're saying. That all the hard, difficult part is in your position, from your perspective, knowing that what's happening is real. This is how he really feels, or really wants to see happen. Mm. There are human beings that prey on us like that and really want those outcomes that they're suggesting. Like he's suggesting, these are the outcomes. This is listen to this. Shouldn't he be fired? He's wanting and wishing that for him. Isn't that bad? He doesn't feel. He doesn't have that going on. You know what made him feel worse is getting caught up in it. Getting caught up in it and then being proven wrong. It's like like a burn when you're wrong. You have to, gosh, not to say I'm wrong. Okay, okay, mm-hmm. Okay, mm-hmm. Well, okay. So because he's the recipient of the backlash as well. You are, but he is as okay. So he's sharing in the backlash with you. So he's more saying, okay, he's thinking spiritual warrior in his brain. So he's in the trenches with you, and he's got somebody trying to divide he and you. He's somebody's trying to divide the both of you. The first thing he's doing is looking at, first of all, what is happening between he and you. You know, before they even arrive, before he starts caring about what they're thinking, especially if he's thinking, but this is baseless. What they're saying is baseless. It's untrue, and it's being revealed as if it were fact, when it's not. And so he's getting caught up with, and because this is more painful, because like somebody's trying, as you said, this paparazzi sabotaging real life to get a spark, to get that best shot. Because this is affecting his, not only okay, his life as so far as his employment, but I mean his life with you. If he really cares about you, loves you, there's a straight shot. Somebody from the outside has come inside, who was an op, and is now unleashing all of their rage onto you, because all this is coming through you onto him. And he says, whoa, this person's like you call it, like a leech, somebody parasitical relationship. Somebody, I'm your friend, I'm good for you, and they're inside your aura, inside you, and taking away from, trying to take you from away from you. He's trying to take these people. They're trying to. He says they're trying to take you away from him. That's what he felt. Somebody's trying to take you away from him. He's mad. He's mad. He doesn't. But that's how we get tired. Because if you get anger and no place to channel, it's exhaustion and makes you want to go to sleep. You get real tired. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. But we got to be careful, because people get a kick out of that, and they'll keep doing it instead of, like, they'll see us miserable and drained and tired, and health is not well. They keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's how you deal with them. You got to block. You got to block them out. Yeah. Right. And then your energy will stay up, and you won't get. They're kind of tired. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So everything I stated about him, and being angry because he feels that they're trying to take you away from him. Okay. So I can already tell that he's not mad at you, because you pay attention to what's being said. These are information that reached your ears, and you are made you very curious. He's okay with that part, meaning he hasn't dropped his feelings for you at all. And it's good that he knows how you feel, that his and your time is personal, it's private, it's sacred. It needs the same respect as he would, like anybody else, like a stranger, like, or the cinema. Like, don't bother me, I'm at the cinema. Like, hey, I'm with someone, somebody quite special, even. So, but no one should be bothering him in the middle of a, session anyway. And so you're like, okay, so you're that important to him. He's like, he's got to fix that. He knows it. He knows now. Like, this is your time with him, and he doesn't want to spoil that for you. So he's like, he's listening to you, and he's distinguishing, like, what part is you. He's not confusing, because sometimes when this happens, you project out to the whole world, even the ones who love you. It's like, wait a minute, don't get this wrong. Like, he is keeping you close, and then waiting late, like project out later to vent to the other people. Like, okay, I'm mad at them for putting you in this position, but no, he likes you. He pulls you in close to him, so he loves you. Mm, right. Okay. Oh, sure. Of course. Mm-hmm. 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 Of course. Well, no, you're right. He needed to okay, the way that you don't get to the place where you have to be timed out is again, don't let parasitical relationships linger and grow and create a life of its own because that's what it does. We start to be as their character in their play. You're stars of your own play of life in life. I mean, and he may need to like figure out how he wants to tell you these things, but he's choosing you above them. He's choosing you. He doesn't consider you to be part of that club that's against him. You do know that he hasn't. Okay, we got to answer that one lingering question. He's not out there been with a woman that they're claiming he's been with. That has not happened. Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, that's fair. Mm. He can't he cannot help that people are gonna because they say you could say yeah he could say no but that doesn't mean that the woman can't still like him. Okay, fair enough. However, he still gets to live in his world in his reality. He can rest assure yourself that that he's only with you. He could be open and honest and transparent. No, it's only you. I don't care what she says. He can't stop how she feels, but he can get you to understand that he's only with you and he's not meeting up with her at all. And that's part. And his subject is real, as much as her feelings are about him are real. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, I know that people have skeletons in the closet they don't want anybody to look at. That's the way I always thought about it. Okay, please do. Let me in on it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure. I'm listening. Okay. The good thing is, Spirit is always jumping ahead. Spirit said, the transparency between he and you keeps old skeletons from coming, things from the past coming creeping up onto the both of you, either of you. Just being open with each other and comment. Yeah, exactly. Everything you're suggesting, yes. But the relationship between a man and woman, the actions you both in your connection to each other is a relationship. The experience you two are having. It may not be like a companionship yet label. He has no obligation to right to not tell you or tell you either way, but it wouldn't be egg on his face if he told you the truth. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It wouldn't be any problems if he did because you two are not in a Like, and he say labeled, like with the label companionship. Okay, he could have exactly. He could have said that exactly. Exactly. There's infinite things this man could have said. He could have said all the those kind of things, but he could also say all the other kinds of good things, but he chose to say what he did say. He chose his words. That's got to count for something. Exactly. Well, to add, Spirit could have said any of those infinite things too. It could have said, "Oh yeah, he said this," and then you would say, "No, he didn't." So we've got to give kudos to Spirit as well. And going forward, just to your question, I think he's saying, "Okay, you two are starting to get some kind of handle on life, like what's happening around you both. You both seem to attract quite the eyesight. People are looking at you, but you both are getting a handle on this. I think you both are going to move forward and more deepening what you both would like to refer as yourselves. Maybe getting to know each other, getting better, getting to that warm place of acceptance. That's what this cause is. This is what this is all causing. Well, it should be very soon, actually, because this is an attraction time. So I would say look into this in this upcoming week, like to start this upcoming week. This look at him. He's gonna want to start this next week positive and with good energy. He's gonna reconnect with you, or reconcile with you, and that's the time he's gonna want to talk to you, see you, but under the idea that you two are better now and that you've laid this to rest. Mm. Mm. Okay, let's see what's going on over there with what did he get from now. I don't right off the bat, my guides are who's honest. I'm human, but the guides, they say things and I never doubt them, not even a little. So I know that there isn't anything here, but I want to check just to check. Okay, so I'm gonna do a method that's gonna just allow, like, what did he think and what did he feel in that respect, and just see what comes through. Well, look, the spirits gave us our answers from the very start. That is just he and you. That's why she was never needed to be brought up. But I just want to hear from him. So I'm gonna let the man speak for him to use his own words. And this is what he says. He says, "Oh boy, you know where he got his power? She's not. She doesn't have any staple in his life. She doesn't have a leg in his life. Nothing like life changing happened between the two of them, and that's where he says he can. The idea of I can move on and think like we did. We did what we did, and okay, at the time that was our thing. But now I'm in a new life. We don't really have anything binding us. Not like a life changing experience. Hey, you can go on and be happy. I can go on and be happy. I am happy doing my thing with the person. He's with the person he wants to be with, and I believe that whom is you. That's it. That's what he felt. Like, how are you? How are things? How are you? There were no arguments. It was all about self love and self power. He felt empowered, and he feels that she's empowered. I think that he and you are going to do amazing things. Keep up with the journey. You two will come and reconnect. I think you're going to keep all these types of relationships that's not healthy, that seem to be putting you both in the spotlight where you don't want to be. you're no one's game. You're not their game. You're not their character. And you're going to be in charge of your own narratives. I think you both are going to create a warmer narrative for yourselves. A pleasure. I don't care if you're a journalist. I'm trying to show my Twitter. Okay, all right. So, let's see. Can I go back? Okay, so that's the president. Okay, that's people. That's good thing. That's good. No, yeah, no one mocks the gods. No one, no one, no one mocks the gods. U.S. sanction on ICC. The Trump sanction. Oh yeah, here goes. Okay, so U.S. sanctions on ICC prosecutor crippled tribunal's work. Why? It's because Trump sanctioned the court after the panel of ICC judges, that's the court's international uh, criminal court. This was in November. By the way, November is a special month, 2024. It's when people whom you're going to walk with as a soul path for a long time throughout the year 2025 this year. They met in November. Also, deals were made in November that's going to happen in 2020 this year 2025. So he had already made up his mind that he was already okay. Let me read the whole thing uninterrupted. Trump sanctioned the court after a panel of ICC judges in November issued arrest warrants for Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant. He sanctioned, so gotcha, Israel's ally, check mark. So basically, he's Israel's ally. So gotcha, Israel's ally. So not only does he support Israel, but he also, with anti-Semitism, he's also against. He is Semitic. He's against staunchly so against anti-Semitism to the point where he will even take away 450 million dollars from Harvard. Okay, and then only that, he put sanctions to and made the ICC judges courts journey very difficult uh, with this because of the reasons specifically connected to the issue of the arrest warrants for Israel's Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and of course we can just add by default his former defense minister Yoav Gallant. So all the way that does away with the idea of you know being anti-Semitic, racist. All that does not apply to him. Here it is. Trump sanctions on ICC prosecutor have halted tribunal works. Anti-Semitic, nope. Um, Anti-Israel, nope. Cross that out. Pro-Israel, yes. An ally to Israel, yes. And therefore, an ally to the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, yes. Yes. True, true, true means true. False, false, true is false. So that's a simple math of deducing. Okay, I think that's it. And then finally, House Democrats pulls Trump impeachment vote. And then I wrote, thank you for your service. There are many ways to fight the good fight. God's bless all men. And then I have myself going to sleep. So then I went to sleep. So that's me snoozing. That's me snoozing. Okay, I think I can stop right there. Okay. So anyway, I said I was gonna come in and do those. I wanted to share. So um, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to do it correctly, so I had to like play around with it a little bit. So I said, well, let me just log out and see if I can screen share. Okay, so now I know how. All right, perfect. And those, yeah, those are a few of my predictions. I'm like following, and I have so much more to come. Much more to come. Uh, I, I was sitting here and I was thinking, should I like talk about my, I guess the other predictions that are incoming, um, revolving around what the tower symbol means. Because I know I'm doing it for Twitter. I just didn't ever think about doing it as a live stream. So I don't know. I might do it. I have to think about it. Don't hold me to it. You know how I get sometimes. So I know definitely it's gonna be on my Twitter. So all right. Well, that's it. I've got like 6 minutes. I'm gonna like relax because I have another round of readings to do. I'm gonna get a little bit of rest and have some lunch, late lunch. And I'll see you all on the next one. Oh yes, so mine is psychic predictions. Now I don't have anything. Okay, first of all, let me back up. I don't have anything. Let me log out too. I think I deserve a break because I've been here like since. Mm, yeah, they're trying to like talk to me about celebrity stuff. Mm-mm. Don't put me in there. Just let me help you. Let me answer your questions. Okay, so let me see. What was I talking about? Oh, I have nothing against the prophets. Okay, I have nothing against the prophets. It's just that there's a group of prophets that are called doomsday prophets. And the doomsday prophets, I have, I think it's unfair because I would have to like deduct or retract things that I predict, and they're not called to task. And I don't see anyone calling them to task anywhere. So I said, well, let me open up a space and channel and start like talk about my psychic predictions. So whenever now every time I keep making my psychic predictions, it's like I see people are speaking opposite. And then of course when mine comes out right, it's like the one that comes out wrong, it kind of gets swept under the rug. But while it was, oh, this is gonna happen, what? Like, everybody's like, wow, this must come from God, from my God. And turns out it didn't. It was somebody, some mortal made it up. So I said, well, so I'm getting a lot of. Well, you saw it. I'm getting like some of them are like 20 views to like 144 to 100, like 155, like a lot, like over 100 views on a lot of things that like so far as like prediction goes, my psychic predictions and insights. So there you go. Speaks for itself, and they're correct, and they happen, and they're proven, like in real time though, in real time, not like 7 years from now. I mean, like when I say it, like today, can happen today. But I also can predict long term. But I mean, I don't like need to throw my predictions like a year out or anything like that. I talk about things that's gonna happen like one day up, 2 days up, a week up, next month. You know, first of the month. Those I make predictions like that. All right, I'm